Okay, I have Visual Studio up and running. I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to make a Win32 console application. Browse for the directory. I'm going to put it in this one. We'll create a new folder. Call it the first project. The name of the project will be a multiply or mult. We're making a console application. The header files, these are MFC, is Microsoft Foundation classes, where you can use some of the Microsoft subroutines that have been written. I don't believe I need those. You can hit a Google search and find a lot about those things. Okay, so there's the project. If you look in the folder, here's the C projects, the first project, and here's the multiplication that we're going to have. So it creates several files in here for me, and it creates a main program. If you run this, nothing will happen, or it kind of blinks at you, but doesn't do much. Okay, what I can do, because it ran and stopped so quickly, we'll modify this a little bit. We'll put an infinite loop in here. And now if you run this, one of the things that will happen is you'll get a little console window that pops up. Of course, nothing's happening because it's not doing anything, but at least you can see that it is running. You can look over here and see it's trying to tell you what it's doing, but you know, the amount of memory it's taking, etc. So, all right, let me pause, and I'm going to bring in some other things. Okay, what I've loaded up here is a matrix multiplication routine that I found on the internet, and then we're going to take a look at how this works and make some modifications to try and improve on it. So the first thing is we will try to compile it, and we have, let's see, I believe the previous error was I'm using the SVN, and I had a project from the SVN that didn't match what was in here. So I resolved that. You shouldn't have that issue. Okay, so what we have is some warnings, error messages, basically telling us that it doesn't like this scan section, and it's asking us to use a different scan. So I'm going to pause at this point, and let's take a look at what the error is, see if you can find out what they're telling us. Okay, so basically I'm going to add the _S on the scans. So I'll just pause until I get that done. Okay, I've changed all the scans. I'm going to run the debugger, and you can see that it is running, so all of those errors are gone. What I'll do is I'm going to show you a little bit about the debugger as we go through here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is place a breakpoint in the code, if I can figure out how to do it. Okay, I was trying to double click this thing. Apparently you got to right click it, set the breakpoint. There's one here, so you have the option of deleting it or setting it. So the little red dot indicates that there's a breakpoint there. So what happens is when you run your code, let me pull over this output window. it'll run until it hits a breakpoint, and then it stops at this point, so nothing has happened. What I can do is step over that statement and then watch what happens to the output window. Okay, got to find the output window. There we go. Maybe I'm going to shrink my screen down so that we can get things up online. Okay, so hopefully this will make it a little more sense. So it's setting at this scan. You can see over here where the yellow arrow is. It's waiting in front of the scan statement. The scan statement is going to scan from the terminal, from the keyboard, some numbers. So can you figure out what this is doing? Basically, it's asking me to enter two numbers, M and N. So I'll go over here to the window. Oh, I'm sorry, gotta continue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step over. So now it's trying to read the things. I've already typed them in, but then we're going to step over the next. And so it prints it out. All right, so now it wants me to enter the elements of the first matrix. And so here's a for loop. So let's take a look at what this for loop does. But basically it's going to be reading numbers in rows and columns. This is crazy. I think I'm going to end up with 33 rows and 3 columns. I'm going to restart the program. We'll continue from there. Okay, so here we go. It prints tells me what it wants me to do. I hit the scan. It's now scanning for my numbers. So 3 by 3 matrix. It's now at the print. So I'll step over that. It says enter the elements of the first matrix, and we'll continue. So now it's continuously running while I type the numbers in. So now it's waiting at the print. It wants the second matrix. So what we'll do is, oh, number of rows and columns. Okay, I should pay attention. Alright, so now it wants the elements of the second matrix, and we'll put a breakpoint here, and we'll continue to there. So now it's trying to read them. And so I'm down here, and we're going to multiply these things together. Put a breakpoint and continue. So we've done the multiply, and we'll step over, and it says products, and now what it's going to do is print this for me. I'll put a breakpoint here. So there's the first row. It gives me a new line. Second row gives me a new line in the third row. We'll step over. Okay, it goes back to the 4. It's going to realize it's done. and it hits the return and the program will terminate.